Why are you single? Why am I single? These questions are not foreign to most people. You must have heard it at some point in your life. Maybe you still hear it from time to time, or you'll hear it sometime in the future. No, I'm not trying to be malevolent or anything like that. But this is life, and the only thing permanent is impermanence. You may be in a relationship today and single tomorrow. Whenever we get this question from people, or when we question ourselves about this matter, we will notice that it is accompanied with feelings of anxiety and confusion. A lot of whys with no clear answers. These questions offer us a chance for rumination. But we know that answers are not the easiest things to find in a state of confusion or anxiety. If we have yet to master the art of self-evaluation, we may not make good use of the energy we feel when these questions come up. Hence, the questions will remain unanswered, and the feelings of anxiety and confusion will persist. I have been asked the "why are you single" question countless times at different stages of my life. I used to just smile and say, I don't know, and then move on. But one day, after I was asked the question, I decided to sit with myself and find a real answer to the question. My principal aim was to find a pretty savage response for my next questioner. I needed to come up with a pretty savage response for my next questioner. However, it quickly turned into a serious self-evaluation for me. The answers that came from that experience brought me clarity and peace. Ever since then, I have used the answers to work with people, and they've been really helpful. What I now know is that for every person, the answers to these questions will likely be one or more of the following. 1. You don't know what you want. If you don't know what you want, you will accept anything, and that includes less than what is good for you. It's important to decide what you want in a person and what you want in a relationship. Decide what's most important and what you can compromise on, if you must. If a person does not have the qualities that are most important to you, there is no point getting invested and trying to see how it goes. That's self-betrayal. Get clear on what it is you want so that you can easily recognize it. I know you're thinking, but don't I have to deal with them to a certain extent to find out? Yes, you do. A few dates can help you decide if it's worth your time or not. You just have to pay attention and be radically honest with yourself. 2. You get deeply invested too quickly. Many people think that it's unnecessary to follow a process when it comes to establishing a relationship. They meet someone, talk for a week, and then start going on about how they are tired of the talking stage. They want to define things already. They are planning trips and weddings in their heads. I understand love at first sight, and I believe that it's a real thing. But I also believe that only a few people have experienced that. And most of them have a track record of going on to build and sustain a healthy relationship. The dating period is a time to get to know each other by engaging in activities that will reveal your personalities and beliefs. It's not the time to get deeply invested and start showing unconditional love, or to focus on making heavy compromises and lifestyle changes to get the other person to fit into your life. This is when you find out if they have the things that are most important to you and decide if they are worth more of your time. It's not a time to give too much of yourself. The dating period does not have to be too long. It shouldn't be too short either. It's a time to pay rapt attention and keep your head as clear as possible so that you can make the best decision for yourself. I know that some of my fellow Nigerians are probably saying, game way go court, which can simply be translated to what will be, will be. And I'm wondering why they mostly remember to say that when the topic of discussion is romantic relationships. Romantic relationships are at the top of most people's list of desires, yet it's the one area they handle with zero intentionality. They just let people waltz in and out of their lives and leave them more hurt after each experience. You owe it to yourself to do your part. Nothing is permanent, but if we choose to be careless because of that, we will have poor and unfulfilling experiences. Whatever is worth doing is worth doing well, even if it's for a day. The next one, choice overload. When you have so much options, decision making becomes harder. You can get lost in trying to check out this one and that one to see which one is best for you. And then you miss out on what's really important because you are now comparing them with each other and not really to your standards for choosing a love interest. You may not have enough time to get to know each of them. It's very easy to get overwhelmed, give into confusion, and decide to stop giving your energy and time to any of them. You may choose one person without clarity only to find out that you made a mistake in the near future, and then you go back to being single. Social media is one of the reasons for this. With social media, there's easy accessibility and it's easy to use that wrongly. People can be talking to 6 different people and their mama all at once, trying to maintain the same frequency, and that means having their energy scattered all around. Some people call it not putting all your eggs in one basket. But I found that it's the easiest way to confuse yourself, which is counterproductive. One way to deal with this is to get clear on what you want, so that you're able to quickly identify who is aligned with you the most and give full energy and time to them. Don't spend too much time trying to see where it goes with many people. Trying to deal with them all at once and in equal measure will most likely make your desire and pursuit unsuccessful. When you have 2 people before you, with the help of your standards and intuition, you know who is more aligned with you. We like to lie to ourselves and say that we don't know, and that's the root of indecision and confusion. When you decide to give time to get to know someone, make sure to avoid wasting time and do it one person at a time. The next one, you are focused on all the wrong things and putting off what's really important. One of the ways this plays out is when you fail to pay attention to how someone makes you feel and only focus on how you feel about them. These are 2 different things. You may feel that a person is beautiful, intelligent, focused, picture perfect with you, smart, fulfills your physical pleasures, and you totally want to be a part of their life. But if the person makes you feel small and insignificant, if they make you fight for their attention, if they lack conflict resolution skills, if they are unready or afraid of committing to you fully, if they make you feel uncared for, that is the real reality of your relationship with them. And it is bound to fail, because how you feel about them is not enough to form and sustain a healthy relationship. If you carry on with the relationship, you will eventually realize that your needs are not being met. And when your deepest needs are unmet, your soul will naturally prompt you to remonstrate. And that may lead to the end of the relationship, which can be a good thing. And that's how you get back to being single for something that's totally avoidable. The next one, you don't understand partnerships and how to function properly in them. You want a relationship or a partner, yet you still have an individualistic mindset and approach to relationships. How do you expect things to play out in this sort of dynamic? If you want to build and sustain a healthy long-term relationship, you must understand the true meaning and essence of partnership. You must understand that relationships require teamwork and service to one another. Everyone must be valued and included. You must learn to appreciate what the other person brings to the table and create a healthy and safe space for them to freely use that to serve the relationship. In a relationship, there is you, there's the other person, and then there's the relationship you both have. You must serve yourselves, serve each other, and make sure that you are well equipped to serve the interests of the relationship. You need to know when to step aside and let the other person pull their weight. That's how partnerships work. You cannot be self-focused all the time, doing everything on your own terms without taking the healthy needs and desires of your partner into consideration. That's not right. It does not mean that you should lose your individuality or not have self-love. Self-abandonment is not an option. You must find a balance. The next one. Terrible childhood conditioning. Many of the things that trouble adults and their relationships are the results of terrible childhood conditioning that manifests as lack of self-awareness, inability to communicate or express oneself, fear of abandonment, hyper-independence, a desire to always be in control, fear of being seen as they truly are, extreme neediness and codependency, trust issues, hypersexuality, being secretive, anger issues, being avoidant, and many more. You can be a good person with good intentions for your relationships, but if you're struggling with any of the things I mentioned earlier, you will most likely sabotage any relationship you get into, especially if you have yet to understand that there's something that needs to be healed. This does not mean that you're unworthy of a healthy relationship because you have yet to heal yourself. Healing can happen in a healthy relationship, but you must first acknowledge all the ways you've sabotaged yourself and your relationships. Make a decision to heal. Get help if you're not able to go the route of self-healing, and then find a relationship that is compatible with your healing journey. A partner who understands your struggle, one who creates a safe space for you to truly heal. Someone who doesn't enable or support you to misbehave or stay complacent. The next one. You are hyper-fixated on finding a relationship. The more fixated you are on finding a relationship, the more you repel it. The energy of desperation is low vibrational. It will make you move in ways that will repel people. People can tell when you are desperate, especially serious-minded people. It's an energy, you can't hide it, and it's not cute. The reason for your desperation is because you believe that a healthy relationship may be impossible for you. That's the signal you're sending to the universe and to the people in your life. How then will you experience what you believe is impossible or unattainable? A healthy relationship is something you cultivate from a place of total acceptance, love for yourself, wholeness, and absolute peace with yourself as a single person. You must get to the point where you choose people from a place of security and a desire to share yourself with someone who is worthy, not from a place of loneliness and desperation. Many people have told me that it was when they made peace with their singleness and came to a place of total awareness, acceptance, and love for themselves that they were able to choose the right person for them. Next one. You are too laid back. You don't go out. I'm on this table. You don't reply your DMs. You are always frowning. You don't take calls. You don't return calls. You don't have a healthy work-life balance. And you do not invest in self-care so that you can feel great about yourself when you go out. You want a healthy relationship, but you speak ill of healthy relationships every chance you get. Always acting like you don't care when you know that you really do. This is premium level self-sabotage. Get out of your own way now. The next one. You are far into your healing journey. There is a level of isolation you experience when you've healed so much. You will get to a point where you don't feel compatible or in alignment with most of the people around you. I recently heard someone say that we have more friends and lovers when we were operating as the lowest version of ourselves. This is a real thing. People who are not doing the work of healing and improving themselves are much more numerous and easily accessible than the ones who are. You will have fewer options and more clarity to see what's not worth your time and energy when you are healing. Some people may even dread getting very close to you because they know that your lifestyle will constantly shine light on parts of themselves that they aren't yet willing to deal with. They will go to the people who will enable their toxicity or complacency because they are just as deeply wounded themselves. And then they call it compassion and compatibility. This is not always a bad thing for them because some of them get to heal together eventually. The healing journey is not easy. There are a lot of things that can make us feel as though we are missing out if we let ourselves lose sight of what's truly important. It might take a long time for you to find someone who is in alignment with you, but it will totally be worth the wait. Trust. The next one. It's just not the right time. Sometimes, the simple reason is time and season. Maybe you're in a season of your life where your focus should solely be on yourself, developing your work, learning to establish, nurture, and enjoy non-romantic relationships. Romantic relationships can be quite demanding. Sometimes God allows us to be in a season of singleness to get ready and set the right foundations that will enable us to live a balanced life and enjoy our romantic relationships when the time is right. Singleness is not a curse or a sin to flee from. It's a season of your life where you can thoroughly enjoy yourself and live life entirely on your own terms. Your enoughness is not in question because you are single. If you are looking to form a healthy relationship or have been having troubles with that and didn't know why, I believe that you now have an answer to that. You can use this as a guide to put in work and make a change if you find out that there's a need for that. Finally, the next time someone asks you why you are single, tell them that you are single because it's an absolutely normal part of life. That's the savage response I came up with. But it's not so savage because I chose to find a response that is true instead of savage. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about this topic, okay? Until next time, I love you.